Turn the radio off, please.
I'll do it.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, turn the radio off, Phil, for me, please.
Look at all the progress.
Oh yeah, it's got some straps to hold the axle up.
So, no progress.
Welcome back to another video.
Welcome back to another video, Tom vs Dale. Thanks for joining us. This fortnight, we're just going to do a little bit of explaining what's going on with the Volvo. Kind of Captain Chaos, as Patch affectionately names me. With the Renault, it kind of allowed itself because it was just chaotic and in the mix, and everything was all stations, all hands to deck and all go. The Amazon's a bit different. Obviously I like to prank the internet. So with the Renault, I did that a lot on colour and what was going on. Kind of been quite open with what's been going on here, but not really explained it. Not kind of hiding anything colour-wise. Wheel-wise, we've already announced that. But I'm causing a lot of headache for everyone that's involved by my demand of wanting it to be on the floor. I hate the term lay frame, but that's what ultimately we want to do. So a couple of people have kicked in with asking why we've done all the fabrication work just when we're going to fit air. It's not just about parking up and airing out for me. I want it to be as low as it possibly can. I want it to lay on the floor. But then that's kind of quite straightforward as well. I know it's not, but I want it to drive low. I have got a vision of it to drive down the road with sparks coming out the back of it. I want it to be dragging on the floor. That on its own creates a ton of problems. So that's kind of what it's here at the install company for. So Phil has been tasked, the thankless task, he has the dump stick, as we found out with Mr. Masterman in last season. So Gary's got everything fabricated in. So for Gary, it was getting the engine in, the gearbox in, seat mounts, build the tunnel, get the axle in place. Well, when we first got the opportunity to do Tom vs Dale 2, Players Classics got a track day on the Friday, so we automatically assumed track day, race cars, fast car stuff. Hence why Dale's gone the route that he wanted to go down. I initially thought fast BMW. Old BMW, big motor. Tom vs Dale 2 is exactly the same as Tom vs Dale 1. We've got a strict budget to work to, so they're both get the same budget. It's a modest budget, that it makes it tight. To go E21, E30, 2002, just to get the shell alone was 10 grand. Okay, there'll be people out there saying, oh, you could get one for cheaper, but then like the Renault, you've got the money in it to make it right. And then a big motor. And it kind of, what I wanted to do was something that not a lot of people seen. And then I always like old Volvos, and you know, a fan of Gap Bill, looking at all those boys that have 1,000 horsepower old Volvos screaming their nuts off. And it brought me onto the Amazon with the view. There's a Speed Hunters one, and I think the lad's Keith. I loved that Speed Hunters feature. It's such a classic looking car. And then double it over going quick. So again, I think it's obvious to go for a lot of people would have gone for the 5-cylinder engine, but I wanted to keep it in period-ish. So that's why we've gone for the 2.3 4-pot engine, which was in the 740s and 940s, the red block. They make pretty good power. Owen Developments are going to supply a turbo for us, which we'll come on to in another episode. We're going to run ECU master management. So I know we've had a little look at this, but it kind of slots straight into place. We've had custom engine mounts made. We're going to have to lose a couple of things. The heater matrix is probably going to have to go because it's quite tight at the back. We'll go convert it to fly-by-wire injectors and the like. And as you can see, part of wanting it to be low was driving low. I didn't want it to get caught and compromise. That's why we did the subframe raise that Gary's done. again, just to give as much clearance for this stage. So now Phil can do everything that he wants to do and get attacked into it. There's so much work involved in this, it's kind of frying my brain a little bit. As we know, I'm useless at this stuff.
And it's a knock sensor.
Well, that just went off.
80 through up to 320.
It's not just lowering a car, like you can't, what I've learned is I just wanted to drag on the floor attitude. It's not that straightforward. There's a lot of work to get a car properly low and properly in there. Phil's got phase 2 of the fabrication to do. With the engine, a lot of people were telling me that the traditional Amazon box and engine the box that goes with that engine aren't that strong when you put some power in it. I'm not going to go stupid power. The car's like 1100 kilos, I think. I think with the turbo, with the injectors, with the map, I think we're going to be 350 horsepower. I'm not horsepower's pub talk. I want to do a burnout. I want to be on the floor, I want to do a burnout. It's nice and simple. I'm a very simple creature. You can't unlock it from the outside, doofus. Oh. I should get out. But so that's why we've gone for the BMW ZF box, which has been totally cut and shut, basically. But there's a company in Sweden that take the BMW ZF box, measure, and then you can't just bolt an adapter on. So then it's an adapter welded on, but not an adapter, but the end of a gearbox, Volvo box welded on. And that should be good for about 600 foot-pound torque, I think. So that's why we've gone for that. So that's now all in place, engine's in place, everything's raised. Phil's then can do what he needs to do with the suspension. Obviously you come further down and you look up here, we've got the tunnel. Then we come down to the back where we've got the Burton Power 4-link fitted. So this is obviously Mark 1 Escort 4-link suspension with a 240 rear axle. The 240 rear axle, the Drift Boys, again, is just a pretty strong axle. So we've narrowed the beam and done everything we need to do to be able to get it to that floor. What now is going to be over to Phil is to now fit the airlift suspension. So there's not an off-the-shelf kit. To go on the floor, the axle touches the chassis, touches the shell, so that causes its own problems, because obviously even a 6-inch airlift bag that's aired out is still 2-3 inches of space that it needs to take. So I think we're probably going to have to cut the boot floor out, maybe.
Hello!
There's dampers, airlift. I've got off the phone from Corey Airlift and Palm at Cardio Security just this afternoon. So we're going to go down there Monday to pick up all the airlift goodies to Cardio Security, bring them back up here. Basically, Phil knows what bags he's going to work with, because then he can fabricate the mounts for them and the plates, but we don't really know how we're going to dampen it yet. So we've got a kit coming so that Phil can have a look and a play with, but it might not be reused that yet. There's no room. So, as in no room. It turns out, yet again, we come back to me wanting to be on the floor. So many problems that I have by doing all of this stuff. I currently don't have any brake lines. I currently don't know what brakes I'm going to run. I don't have any discs. I don't have any wiring loom. I don't have an ECU.
You don't have a running engine.
Don't have a running engine. Don't have a steering column. I have bricks for shocks, for springs. Oh, nice. The list is long and distinguished. Alex at Ford Motorsport, the boys there are going to be fabricating intercooler, radiator, pipe work, booster work, all the sort of stuff that I'm going to need mechanical wise. They also do calipers, their own calipers as well, and he's managed to find a lovely nice Mark, I think they were developed for the Mark 1 Golf, he might correct me on that, but 4-pot calipers. They do a 4 and a 6-pot, depending, because we're running 16s, it might be, we're going to have to look. Nice. I'm going to keep the rear, because the 240 is discs anyway, so we'll keep just the standard rears on there, but upgrade the calipers, we'll renew them anyway. And then we need to upgrade the front, so we're pretty hopeful that, Alex is pretty hopeful that these Forge calipers are going to work and be good for us. That's a big box that's ticked, it's been on my mind. I thought, let's just go to Sweden, pick up a car.
Drive a car to go.
Thank you for joining. Tom vs. Dale. If you've enjoyed the content, you can like, share, subscribe. Oh, I think it's subscribe, tap the notification bell.
That's the one.
Hopefully we'll start to get some more wheels in motion. Oh, I've got a machine the rear wheels as well. Part and parcel of having a 240 rear axle. 5114 is the fitment on the front, 5108 is on the rear, hence why there's Jaguar wheels. Another job to do. Welcome, Tim Tom.
Should we go on an Phil?
Yeah. So Uncle Phil's happy because he's got some fabricating to do.
Yeah. Cutting and the welding and the... Yeah.
Finding homes for bags.
Be good. Be fun. Thanks for that.
Team Tom Phil?
Team Tom?
No. Not there yet.
Definitely not.
Not there yet.
I don't blame you, I'm still Tim Dale.